I'm in a dream, where the people within my dreams are eating one another to stay alive. They are doing anything they can do. Things that were so meaningful to persons have become worthless in pursuit of a simple glass of clean water. The once prideful society, reduced to tribes of nomads and bandits doing whatever they can to just survive. I feel an immense heat burning me with no shelter to hide from it, perhaps a reminder to us all of the errors of our ways. I wake. I lay within the ruins of the world, the air thick with smoke and the stench of sulfur. People covered by filthy soiled cloths walking in the streets unconnected and unfazed by their surroundings, numb, trying to survive the aftermath of the destructions of that capitalist society. No financial institution, the stock market, has crashed and the monetary system of the world is no more. Through the haze of despair, a voice spoke with a manner of abrupt anger. Money, finance, the root of the undoing of the world. God spoke to Adam and Eve about eating of the tree of knowledge and wishing to be godlike. God knew that man through finance would try to become more than what he was intended to be, stewards of his earth and caretaker of all living things. Man has become nothing more than a virus or parasite. I wish to wash myself of the likeness of man and the stench of betterment at our world's expense. Man was to live his given life within the guidelines of his Creator. Satan questioned God and asks, why can't men govern themselves? The answer to this very question that the Lord of Man knew very well is evidenced today. Power corrupts the hearts of all men. The true desire of most men is to be godlike, and through the means of finance they've found a place by the side of God. He began to weep, and I couldn't help but ponder his words and sit in agreement. The central banking system and its interest on the dollar had reached its ceiling in 2017, where the government was no longer able to pay off the debt and the banking system went to war to collect unset debt and interest. We always had an idea that the banking institution ran laterally, or maybe even as a higher governing body. To be in debt by the banks is to understand the true rulers of the world. Man, with his noble attempts to civilize the world, has also undone it. Power is but a notion, yet what the word implies is so attractive to the hearts of men. The great world has vanished, murdered by the ideology of the monetary system and by those who wish to control it. Before the world's undoing, greed has obscured every sense of decency and moral fiber. Laws only benefit the wealthy, and the poor suffer if they can't pay the price to manipulate the system. The notion of money was noble, as were our founding forefathers' ideologies of a free society. To purchase food, to educate, to better yourself always seemed to mean you would have to purchase your ideology of a better life. To buy into the system was understood you would succeed, however, wasn't meant for all to succeed. Who you knew was more than what you knew, and in the arena of social financial ruling class it was always kept in the bloodlines. These found words expressed by the views of a simple person free of the complexities of an advanced education or a mind stud with world's trivia had allowed me to express myself with a higher than common of sense. Here lay the understanding of the events that have doomed us. Here lay the words of a man trying to explain this catastrophe in a simple way. 3 years earlier. Good morning, ma'am. As I passed a very attractive female on my way in to start my workday, she walked right past me and didn't utter a word. Although I live in an era where people have lost all forms of mannerisms, I was brought up to believe a smile and a hello doesn't cost a dime. However, to allure a person in these times, you must adorn yourself in expense of which my simple low-paying job could not afford me. As every morning I'd stop by the newspaper stand for a coffee and a New York Times. "Hey boss," says Khalid, would always address me each and every workday. I hated that he didn't address me as sir as he did his white patrons, but I guess it was his way of connecting, so I paid it no mind. "What's popping, Khalid?" As I hand him a $5 bill waiting for change. "Nothing much, boss, just trying to survive. Times are getting rough." We shared a smile in agreement that indeed times is getting stranger by the day. I left Khaled that moment and couldn't help but digest his thoughts he shared. Even more so while reading the paper as I walked along Fifth Avenue and scanning the captions. "Mother decapitates her child. Government sex scandal. Shooting kills 21 people at school. George Bush dies. Central bank refused to loan to government." Whoa. The central banking system and the government have been at odds for some time now. Most of us never thought of the central banking system as a real bank, but just naive notions that because it was called the federal bank that it was a part of government. The interest on the dollar has reached an all-time high at 50%, and the states of America just can't pay it back due to the unemployment issues, outsourcing of jobs to other countries, Wall Street corruption, the list goes on and on. I continue reading with the one eye, multitasking, reading and being aware of your surroundings. The steam from underground coach, the crisp December morning, the sound of people briskly walking to start their day is all too familiar and quite routine. As I head to the subway, I couldn't help but to liking as to cattle being rustled to feet. Ayo. A familiar voice cuts my concentration. Samuel Robert, my longtime friend. I rehearse his opening monologue in my head as he walks up. "Hey Tuddy, where's the money? Let me hold something." And true to form, he utters to me those exact words. "Sam, you have a job just like me. What is your motherfucking problems you have with money that you always have to ask me for mines?" Sam replies, "Just it, homie, I have mines, I want yours." We share in a laugh and continue with our daily talk about gossip and tomfoolery on the subway towards our destinations. "So Sam, how's the family?" "Funny you should ask," he replied as he sipped his coffee and a stark look of worry overcame him. "Bro, I just received information that our company was being acquired by the Federal Bank of America." "Really?" I replied as if I had no idea this would have happened. "You see, since the financial crisis, all the federal banks and all their affiliates have been consuming companies left and right, dismantling them for profit and overwhelming the unemployment system." Sam went on to say, "And between you and I," he leans in to whisper, "Oh." A sensation of fear overcame me for him. To owe was a serious crime in these times. So much so that I felt to lean away from him as to not catch his unfortunate circumstances that afflicted him. Sam spoke with a hush and of concern for his times and days to come. "Bro, I have reached the third moon. They will come for me soon." "Sam," I replied in a harsh manner, yet not to bring attention to our conversation. "Sam, the third moon? How did you come to this, bro? You know better." Sam just shook his head in shame, and the look in his eye was one of terror and understanding. The electronic conductor's voice breaks our conversation. "Next stop, New Greenwich. Coach Sam, whatever I can do. The help bro, but you know at this stage me giving you any money is not enough, understand? Sam walked off and duttered, I understand. Sam's very life is at stake. 2015 Congress pressed into law the Sisyphean Act, the great task of collection of debt from citizens who may owe taxes or credit on said debt. The banking institution lobbied for the act, and somehow against furious opposition from the citizens of the United States it passed. Really, since 911 our liberties have been stripped from us. The Patriot Act stole away our privacy, the Gun Law Act stole away our means to fight against a hostile government, and now the banking institution are robbing us of any means to just survive, let alone fight back. We still live in the day-by-day law, working to survive, some week to week, others day to day. The Sisyphean Act as written would suggest if you're a citizen of the United States of America, as understood, you now become property of. And that in itself was to understand your so-called freedom is no more, especially if you have. Penalties would mean death. And any likeness, any means that they can use to repay your debt is done. Can't emphasize enough the issues we face as a people. We all live in between a state of a functioning society and total anarchy. To find comfort in something seems to become a person's saving grace. Drug use is at an all-time high. To escape the problems via sexuality gave rise to STDs and new incurable infections. All became a strain on our new, but dysfunctional government healthcare, thus another form of attack on our society, financially.